20 Fenchurch Street, also known as the Walkie-Talkie Tower for its distinctive top-heavy shape, is possibly one of the more contentious tall buildings of recent times. It bulges out of the heart of historic London, to some literally sticking out like a sore thumb. Designed by Uruguayan architect Rafael Viñoly, it has certainly left an indelible mark on London's urban fabric for better or for worse. It was originally proposed in 2005 at 220 meters high to be one of the tallest buildings in the city. But after concerns about its impact on St. Paul's Cathedral, it was reduced in height in 2006, giving it the signature stumpy look we're left with. At the top of the tower is the Sky Garden, set over floors 35, 36 and 37, offering uninterrupted views across London, completely free to the public to frolic and roam around. It melted a car. The design of the skyscraper is melting cars and setting buildings on fire. It's absolutely ruined, Martin Lindsay told the BBC, referring to his Jaguar XJ. Lindsay had the misfortune of parking his luxury car across the street from the office building for just an hour. The Jaguar now has melted panels, mirrors and other parts. You can't believe something like this would happen. They've got to do something about it. Local shopkeepers have complained about carpets catching fire and smouldering front doors. A restaurant owner told London news site City AM that slate tiles on his doorstep had shattered in the heat. The Walkie-Talkie at 20 Fenchurch Street is known for its unusual shape, but that curvilinear shape is exactly what's causing the problem. The south-facing exterior wall is covered in reflective glass, and because it's concave, it focuses the sun's rays onto a small area, not unlike the way a magnifying glass directs sunbeams onto a super-hot pinpoint of light. James Keaveney of the University of Durham's Atomic and Molecular Physics Department told City AM that the inward curve of the wall is an inherent flaw in the building's design. It's a concave shape, so it's going to have a focusing effect on the light that is reflected from it. That same concave shape has been used in the design of solar power plants. A Solar Dish in New Mexico contains 82 mirrors that focuses sunlight onto an engine that contains hydrogen. As the gas expands and contracts from heating and cooling, that motion drives pistons that power a generator that creates electricity. There is also a power station in Spain that works on this principle, Keaveney said. They have an array of mirrors that focuses light into a central pillar. If it's 140 degrees Fahrenheit, you could get solar panels and get some energy out of it. This isn't the first time Viñoly's architecture has raised eyebrows as well as temperatures. His Vdara Hotel in Las Vegas has been criticized for directing sunbeams into the swimming pool deck that are hot enough to melt plastic and singe people's hair. The hotspot became known as the Vdara Death Ray. The Vdara mitigated the death ray with larger sun umbrellas, but fixing the problem in London might take a lot more work. There are examples in the past where an architecture has had to rebuild the facade. Philip Oldfield, an expert in tall buildings at the University of Nottingham's Department of Architecture, told City AM, "If this is serious, then I dread to think how expensive it will be. What could have happened if the beam had settled on a person?" Imperial College London's Professor Guillermo Rain and his team ran computer simulations to find out just that. He said, "I wanted to know just how damaging the death ray could have been had weather and climate conditions been different." Using computer simulations, the team from Imperial's Department of Mechanical Engineering recreated the geometry of the so-called walkie-scorchy and nearby buildings. They also simulated London's climate at the time, such as cloud formation, weather, and the sun's position in the sky, to recreate the exact conditions that led to the ray. The simulation showed that at its peak, the ray released up to 15 times more radiation than would be found on any other normal street in London, and twice what a human can withstand for 30 minutes before suffering skin damage. Thankfully, the ray was strongest when it was aimed at rooftops, and for the rest of the day, its strength was thwarted by clouds. Had the sun been at a different position in the sky, or had there been fewer clouds, people might have been hurt, according to the study. Professor Rain said by sheer luck the beam didn't cause anyone serious harm. The simulation showed that in the worst case scenario, the intensity could have harmed people's skin and eyes, or charred the contents of nearby flats. Cloud cover and the path of the ray, which did not fall on street level at its worst, helped avoid this worst case scenario. After the incident, the designer altered the original facade and added shade to prevent further damage. Professor Rain's study could help architects plan more carefully when designing reflective buildings, particularly in crowded cities. After seeing his work shortened, simplified and rejigged last minute, who could forget the good old Scorchgate episode, its architect Raphael Vignoli distanced himself from the tower, stating, "My name is on it, but it's not my building." What do you think about this story? Would you like to see the Walkie-Talkie in London? Tell us in the comments. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen, because I'm sure that you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.